Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Now, let's sit down and have a nice little heart-to-heart about Iceman issue number 8. This comic, I've said many times, is simply not written for me. And this, I don't know, seeing Juggernaut get beaten up the way that he got beaten up, and then in this issue, seeing Pyro get beaten up the way that he got beaten up. When I read a comic book, one of the things that I enjoy looking for is a good physical challenge or a good mental challenge. Somebody who is a definite adversary for the main character. Now, I genuinely, from my heart, appreciate seeing Bobby's parents as being the main adversary in this storyline so far. I recognize that. I appreciate it. It is fantastic writing. At the same time, like I said, seeing characters like Juggernaut just being completely punked out. In this issue, both Bobbies, and I get they're both Omega levels, but, Pyro's no slouch either. Meanwhile, in this, he doesn't bother using any of his fire sculpting. He doesn't bother making his fire minions to battle the ice minions that these two made. He's literally and he's screaming his terroristic threats, which, yeah, I get it. That is a part of who he is ever since the Freedom Force and whatnot, but come on. Pyro's a little bit more than just some, cheap 2-bit Aussie with a pair of Zippo lighters. I mean, come on. In my opinion, he's just a much better character than that. And I feel that every character in here is they're just here. When you read a comic book, you know that the characters are just there to give them a challenge, but they're not there just to get beaten. There's a difference between giving a challenge and getting beaten. There really is. And it's not always so black and white. But I mean, when Juggernaut and Pyro get punked out, and they're easier to be beaten than a Purifier and his kid in the first several issues, the first 3 issues or so, I think it was. I can't see that. I simply can't see that. So there is a lot of good writing in here. I honestly do like the relationship aspect here. I love the interaction between Bobby and his family. There's a lot to be said here. And one of the things that I will not say, one of the things I do not believe, is that Cine Grace is not a good writer. He is an excellent writer. He is fantastic. He's literally, as far as I'm concerned, the storyline, the dynamic that's in here between Bobby and his main enemy, his parents, I think is perfect. It's amazing. I couldn't have thought of a better concept myself, and the application of it is excellent. At the same time, Cine is choosing to write this comic in a way that the enemies, the physical threats in here, are really just an aside to give a little bit of lip service to the fans who want to see a fight. I'm afraid I want a little bit more than lip service. I think that the comic could be more than that, but it's not my comic. And thus, the comic isn't written for me, and I simply have to look at that. I'm not going to be one of these guys who gets on and continues to purchase a comic book, and just simply for the sake of bashing it, like, oh, here's the comic I hate the most. Can't wait to get my hands on it. It's in my pull box. No, it's not. I don't have comics in my pull box that I don't like. I choose to stop reading comics I don't like, because I'm not a masochist. It's just, I don't know, it is what it is. I'm not going to be one of those guys who's going to be ripping comic books at the end of a video. Just, no. Sorry. I'm not the Howard Stern of comic book readers. So, rather, I'm simply going to look at this and say this comic book is not written for me. I've tried to morph my ideologies around so that I can enjoy the comic book more, and I do actually enjoy it a lot more, but I am going to graciously bow out because I just don't feel that I'm really going to get to that place where I can enjoy the comic book as it's presented. Like I said, I need to see villains who actually do pose a threat to the heroes. And I'm just not getting that in this. And I feel that the villains who I love, and Marvel as a whole has a big problem with this. Marvel is just letting their villains be nothings and nobodies anymore. And I don't like that. And I feel that this comic book, more than all of the other comic books that I'm reading, really represent that to the nines. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm politely done. I'm removing myself from the equation. I'm not even going to grade this book because, as I said, the book wasn't written for me. I have no place grading this book. I enjoy it for what it is, it's just not my particular cup of tea. I'm going to go and find a different flavor. Anyway, guys, genuinely enjoy reading the book. It's a good book. I have nothing negative to say about the book itself. Simply the way that it presents itself to me. No, it's not a match. It's not a match. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Wait for it. Class dismissed.